Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining my live event, 2022 market prediction. Today, we're going to talk about what we anticipate in the year 2022. We think that year 2022 is going to be a very tough year for a lot of people. And since if you go to a restaurant right now, although it's COVID, we have a lot of comment about real estate market. The real estate market is overheated. Okay, there's bidding more everywhere. We cannot even get the house that we anticipate for, not that the house that we dream of. Okay, so before before I make my year 2022 prediction, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to list out Toronto prediction for the year 2021. Okay, so let's say.
Hi, the following will be the three bold prediction that I make for Toronto real estate market in the year 2021. First, we will see that the market will be increased by 15%. Second, we will see that traditional townhome will become unaffordable. Therefore, stat townhome and back-to-back townhome will become more popular nowadays. And third, we will see that downtown condo market will pick up significantly after April. So for more information, feel free to subscribe my channel and I will elaborate on my point. Thank you.
Okay, so that was my prediction on year 2021. Okay, so basically, just want to see if I make it right. Okay, so the market will increase by 15%. Okay, so overall, we did a little bit of statistics that the market increased by 17.8%. Okay, so I am close enough, I think. Okay, then traditional townhome become unaffordable. And then stat townhome and back-to-back will become the trend. And that is true. Traditional townhome easily is around like 1.5 million in Markham or Richmond Hill right now. Okay. And if you go a little bit north up to like Stouffville, Aurora, those are going for 1.3, 1.4. Okay. I don't think it's affordable anymore. It's no longer for first-time home buyer. It's for people who want to upsize. Okay. So back-to-back and stat town over the past 3 months, we have been selling a lot of stat town. Okay. So this is the trend too. So I think I get this part right. Okay. To be honest. Okay. Then here comes to downtown condo market pick up significantly. I think I got this part right. Okay. But then it's not picking up as much as I thought it would be. Okay. But still, like we see that the downtown market decreased by like another like 20% during COVID, and the rent decreased by like 20 to 30%. Now we're back to where we were on pre-COVID. Okay, so ultimately, I think we are right on this one. Okay, so here you goes. Okay, the average price right now is $929,000. Okay, and then the average price to year 2021 is 1.095 million. Okay, so that's just a little bit south of 1.1 million, and overall we are encountered 17.8% increase. Obviously there are some region and some property types that increase way more than that. Okay, for example, later on in the slide I'm going to show a property, a similar property in Markham that almost double the price of it. Okay, so new year, new prediction. Okay, before I make my new prediction, we have a few people in the live. I would like to, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, you guys can type in the chat box there. Okay, and Paul and I are more than happy to answer your questions. Okay, and or you guys can say hi there. Okay. Okay, so new year, new prediction. So what is going to happen on year 2022? Okay, obviously, price rise. Okay. Okay. I think if you ask 100 people out there on the street, probably 100 people will answer you the same thing. Oh, price is going to rise. Okay. But how much is it going to rise? Okay. That's a very good question. Okay. Obviously, I'm not going to anticipate the same market as we were in the year 2021 because I can see that if we rise by another like 20% and in the year 2022, probably we will anticipate some government intervention. Okay, and especially when we have government election later on this year, I think the first priority that they have is not job growth, is not about healthcare. Okay, COVID is one thing. Okay, and then the most important thing that they need will be solving the ongoing housing problem that we have in the GTA. So I'm not going to be surprised that government is going to intervene the market. Okay, so that's why I think that the market will grow by another like 5 to 10%. It's not going to be what it was last year. Okay, year 2021. And also, we'll see that rising interest rate will cause people's sentiment to on the market to change a bit. Okay, although later on in the slide, I think Paul will explain the fact that won't be anticipate a lot of rising interest rate, but that will cause people's sentiment to change 100%. So, price will remain very high. Okay, although like we may have government intervention and then we may have rising interest rate and then also uncertainty about our economy. However, the we are 100% sure that there will be inflation and our inflation it won't be better. It won't be getting better, okay? Due to the fact that government, Bank of Canada, Federal Reserve are printing off money, okay? Compared to pre-COVID, they're printing off at least like 40-50% more money than they were, okay? Okay, so I'm not going to be surprised that raw material is going to be increased, especially for the fact that every country are craving for a structural policy to increase their government spending on infrastructure so that the economy can get better. Okay. So compared to the pre-COVID 19 price, they will raise up to 50%. Okay. That 100% sure. Okay. When we are talking about the raw material. Okay. And if you have a chance to look at the cost of wood and lumber right now, is actually causing a lot more than before. It's almost up by 50%. Okay, and not including the copper wire and also labor costs. Okay, so why don't we look at a 2-year trend? Okay, how much did we increase so far? Okay, after COVID. Okay, after COVID, we saw a big hit on the condo side. Okay, we saw that people are migrating out of the city and to the suburban area. So therefore, we see that single-family detached townhouse and semi-detached home are really taking a big rise. Okay, compared to year 2019 November until now, we have already seen a rise of around like 35.5%. Okay, and this type of rise is actually this type of rise is actually how can I say it? Like is I will say in a G7 country, this type of rise is rising more rapidly than what we supposed to be. Okay, and also for condo, we just see that it will rise by 13.2%. Okay, it has to do with the consumer behavior because of the fact that they no longer want to live in the city. They want to live in a suburb because of the fact that they cannot go out anyway. So it's no point of living in downtown. Okay, is it going to change? My opinion is that if we look at what happened in the Omicron and other diseases right now, I believe that it is going to change. Okay, and I believe COVID is going to end very soon. And I sincerely hope that COVID is going to end. And I think this will brought up a lot of demand on condo. Okay. Okay. So the sales price. Okay. So we have population growth coming from immigrant is one of the major reason housing in Toronto become unaffordable. Okay. So when we are talking about population growth, how bad it was. Okay. The next slide, we'll talk about it. So before I talk about population growth, okay, and I have few charts for you. Don't worry, I did my research. I'm going to talk about are we really in a bubble? Because according to UBS Real Estate Bubble Index, is that for the year 2020 and year 2021, we were named one of the top three. Okay, we were named one of the top three to have. 1 second. Okay, we were named one of the top three to have UBS real estate bubble. Okay, so ultimately, when you're talking about bubble, what are the indicator that it was a bubble? Okay, so bubble. Okay, what are the key indicator? Okay, first of all, we will see oversupply. Okay, is a big no. Obviously, I don't see that we have oversupply, whatever. Then we will see increasing home prices outpace the inflation and wages. Well, that is pretty obvious. And I think that happens in a lot of the real estate market. We are seeing high number of supply mortgage. I don't think so. Okay. And then we are seeing investor and flippers area. Oh, that is a maybe to me because we are seeing a lot of flippers. Okay. Flipper as in like people who are just buying and they have no plan of holding it long term. Okay, they are just playing it for short term. But then the investor that we see over the past few months is actually those people who is buying it not for their not the fact that they want to flip it or the fact that they making it as an investment. It's because they're buying it for the next generation. Okay, so the next one will be rising mortgage interest rate. Okay, we will see that happen very soon. Okay, so how bad it is right now? Okay, in terms of per 100 new Ontarian coming in, how many units do we have for them? Okay, per 100 new Ontarian coming in. Okay, before when we are seeing like 1970s, okay, we are seeing that for every 100 new Ontarian coming in, we have at least like almost like one house to them. Okay, but and when we are going back to 10 years ago, for every 2 Ontarian coming in, we have at least one for them. So therefore, I think on average, we have 2.5 people per new Ontarian. Okay, per family. So I think that won't cause a housing problem. But since 2016, for every 100 new Ontarian coming in, we only have 36.9 housing available to them. Okay, so what is that telling you? Is that we are really short of supply, and how are we going to justify that? Okay, so I will leave Paul to answer some of the concern that you guys may have about the supply issue that we currently have in Ontario. Okay, Paul, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning, everyone.
Hello, Paul, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, okay. I can hear you.
I want to talk a little bit about the supply first, and then we can talk about a little bit about the interest rate. And then we will integrate the two topics together. First of all, regarding the supply's concern, it's very basic. Every one of us who buy something, we heard that, okay, supply and demand. Right now, and since 10, 12 years ago, in Ontario, we have been sort of supply in terms of comparing to demand. Now, lately, for the last several years, it's happened even in the worst rate. What happened is that, say, think about Canada as an immigration country, and our birth rate is so low. If we don't take in new immigrants, basically our population will decrease, and nobody will pay for our healthcare system. Nobody will pay for our retirement plan. So every single parties in the Canada, no matter who got elected, they all understand this. So in general, our immigration policy is pretty straightforward. We need a lot of immigrants. Now, since the COVID, that year, 2020, basically, we were supposed to have targets of 330,000 immigrants coming in. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we couldn't make it. So we left a gap there. And immediately on 2021, the government have changed the policy. They say that we need to make up the number. So immediately, they decided that for the next 3 years, we are going to have 410, and then 410, and then 430. In 3 years, we want to have actually 1.25 million people coming in. Now, we all understand that in Ontario, we get a big chunk of this immigrant coming into the city. Say, for example, in GTA area, Ontario. So each year, just external immigrant, basically, we can see that they are around over 150,000. And in Canada, more or less like our average household is 2.3 people. So if you divide it by the new immigrant, by the people coming in, each year we will need new house to service this new household, 2.3 people per family. We need over 55,000 at least. And in the last 10 years, 12 years, we have been sought every single year. And in the worst case years, we are more or less sought 10,000 units. In a better year, we probably saw something like 5,000. So our building capacity has never been catch up with the demand. So, and no matter what you see, how you see it, doesn't matter who is coming in. Say this year, we already fulfilled the entire quota for 410,000. So all these people are coming in, no matter whether they are poor, they're rich, they are refugees, they still need a place to live. And doesn't matter which level they are, as long as they need a place to live, they will force the entire housing market move up a little bit. And that is one of the reasons why our prices keep on going up. Now, on top of that, think about the supply, why we in Canada, we have so much land and we couldn't build more home quickly. First of all, as far as the land concerned, particularly in Ontario, in the last 10, 15 years, we have come up with a lot of new policy that restricting building outward. We have new green belt policies. We have all this policy restricting farmland to be converted. If those who live in Toronto close by, if you know the area, say for example, McAlvin and Major Mac, in the north part of that, there's a huge piece of land, and right south of it is already developed. But the government have established policy saying that, okay, at least for the next 10 years, they are not reconsidering any application for converting. So the supply of the land now become very short, and then the way that you want to build take a long time. So we will never catch up, at least in the foreseeable future, to have enough units. And then one worst thing is this, in terms of supply, what causes us the most problem is that Ontario building industry is a union heavy industry. And in order to protect everyone to get a really high salary. The union has always been restricting newcomer to enter in the industry, enter into their trade. So adding all these things together, the government, okay, is foreseeing that there will not be enough by any chance. So 2 years ago, most of the municipal government, the city, they already come out with a rule saying that if you own a single dwelling family, now you can go to apply to make it a multi-family unit. Say, for example, you want to build a basement apartment. Usually, if you have a single family dwelling, they won't approve you. However, since 2 years ago, basically, it doesn't matter where you are. Most area in the Ontario, you can go to the government and apply for a license to build a second unit, as long as you comply with all this fire regulation, safety regulation. So the supply in the near future, even if we don't build anything, if we don't let any immigrant come in, we will still be 3 years short of supply. So the supply demand, if everyone who have studied economies 101, we all know that it will never change. When the supply is higher than the demand, okay, price will drop. When the demand is so high, like what we are in the situation right now, the price will never fall significantly. There may be adjustment, tiny adjustment, seasonal adjustment. Now, let's take a look at the other factor that will cause a bubble. Nobody has any doubt that if interest rate is raising crazy, it would definitely create a bubble in the housing market. However, look at this. What we have been seeing is this right now. Can we go to the next slide?
Yep.
What we are seeing is this. For the last 2 years in Ontario, we have been having the lowest possible interest rate in the entire Canada. Look at that. Okay, now, interest rate, particularly what we are interested in is the mortgage rate. Mortgage rate is a reflection, but it's not a direct one-to-one ratio of what we call the Bank of Canada interest rate. Bank of Canada rate is now staying at 0.25%. That's at a historical low. And we have never been in that low. Now, some other countries in the world, like Japan, they try negative interest rate. In Europe, they try negative interest rate. But the effect, there's no effect. They can't help the economy, and they cannot slow down anything of the housing market. So we can see that in terms of the Canadian government, we will be staying with the same policy. Now, from now on, almost every industrial expert from all the top 5 banks, from CMHC, from the Ontario Real Estate Association, from the big real estate company, such as Remax, Century 21, everyone agrees that now we will be seeing some interest rate increase. However, the question is how much? The norm or the average, what we are expecting is that we will be seeing something at the after June. We will see the first hike. It may come a little bit early, it may come a little bit later, but we will see the first hike in terms of the Bank of Canada rate. It most likely will jump on 25% on the first hike. And the highest prediction for the jump will be adding 0.75% to the current rate. We will make the Canadian Bank of Canada rate at 1%. And the lowest prediction is that because of all the different things now, particularly another strike with this Omicron, Some people predict that, yes, there will be a strike hike of another rate, but it most likely stay between 0.5 to 0.75. Now, so one thing for sure, again, interest rate is going up. However, when we look at interest rate, one thing we have to understand that since COVID, Canadian government, any government in the world, they have spent a lot of money trying to help to keep the economic going, keep at least people unemployment rate low. So they have a lot of money spent. And when government spend money, okay, there's an interest that they have to pay. Now, in the past, what happened in the economic world is that, okay, inflation go up, you raise the interest rate, that might force the inflation down. However, this won't happen this time. Yes, we know government will still increase the interest rate. However, they cannot increase it like the past. Each 1% interest rate that increase, the government relatively have to pay extra.
Okay, so Paul, I have to cut you off for a second. I think there are audience making a comment. Is that here's my thought. Okay, this is literally her comment. Okay, here's my thought. Our housing market will crash if interest rate increase. Okay, this year, high unemployment rate and Fed drop their immigration rate. What is your take on that?
First of all, immigration rate has already been set, and 2022 it will be 410. We need those people. They won't drop. Okay, that's number one. Interest rate increase to a certain percentage, yes, but that has to be probably in the next 2 years. If we pump it up for 5%, yes, that there will be a very high sentimental value. So yes, if the rate is jumping rapidly, and if the rate jump up 5% more up to what we are seeing right now, yes, they will be creating a chaos. Okay, yes. What's the third question?
I think so what happened is for 1 month, okay, I'm going to talk about the immigration policy in the later on in the slide. Okay, yeah. So do you have anything to add about the interest rate, Paul?
Interest rate, okay, yes. Interest rate, if you think about this, if we add 1%, interest rate this year, which is a lot already, far beyond the prediction of all the experts. If we do that, the Bank of Canada rate will be 1.25, and what will happen is that the variable rate for 5 years will then be 2.4, 2.5, and then the fixed rate will probably be 3.75, 3.85. Now, even with that, it is still very, very affordable. But remember one thing, we are talking about those who need a brand new mortgage within the next 2 years. Remember that we still have 6 months to brand in our mortgage. If you have a mortgage, if any one of us has a mortgage, we already told all our clients since last December, okay, actually November, we say that watch your mortgage, okay, take advantage of the branding in function of the mortgage. If you have 2 years left, brand in with the new rates for 5 years. So most people who own a property right now, as long as they take the advice, they do it properly, they won't be affected by any means of the interest rate for the next 5 years. Now, we all understand that if you don't sell your properties, if you can afford to own the property, rent it out, you live in there, and there's no particular reason why can't you do it with the renewal of your interest rate. And with that, you'll stay heavy on the properties without any stress for the next 5 years. So nobody should be panicking on selling their properties in the next 5 years if they do it properly. So now, for those new people, okay, if they want a mortgage, they can try to buy it within a certain time. And sometimes even, okay, if the market slow down, like currently, we are slowing down not because of the demand. We don't have any supply at all. So if you look at that, currently our supply is so low, and basically you don't have much choice. If you really need a house, you want to buy something, you need to move in now and just buy something. It's not like in the past, okay, I can choose, I can take this one is better than the other one. Anything is selling right now. And think about that. People will hold on more to it because they already resolved the financial issue. They don't have any risk. Even the market is not growing, they will be still be far better off to hold on to their properties. So a big crash, unless there's a significant and very rapid growth in terms of the interest rate, you won't see a downturn of the market. I don't see that there's a crash.
Okay. So let me continue. 1 second. Ouch. Yep. So many people may ask, like, what is the reason for home price to increase? Okay. So first of all, there's no doubt that rising construction costs and it's hard to get substitution is the main reason that causing the increase right now. Okay, because on average, construction costs is increased 1% per month. I'm talking about 1% per month, so that add up to 12% per year. Okay, and not to mention, we already talked about population growth, and I think everyone knows about it. Okay, and Paul mentioned in the previous slide that we have a set a target of 405,000 people coming into Canada next year. Okay, and not to mention is that we're seeing lack of supply right now. Okay, what does lack of supply means? Okay, so people do not want to sell their house. Because when they sell, what can they do with that amount of money? Okay, because what the trend that I'm seeing in some of the market right now is that if I sell the house for 2 weeks later, I might get another like 50K more. Okay, depends on the market. Okay, at least like 2 to 3% more. And also another things that keep in mind, and it is very important, is that we are seeing that money is becoming more and more useless right now. So let's say if you put like 10,000 in the bank right now, okay, it may possibly going to be worth $9,000 in terms of purchasing power next year. So those are the main reason why home prices increase. Okay, so when we are talking about population growth, okay, why does population growth always outpace the supply? Okay, here is the chart that we got from Smart Prosperity. Okay, and they're comparing their housing completion versus household formation by 5-year period during 2016 and 2021. Okay, let's take a look at what happened previously. Okay, so when we are taking a look what happened previously is that back in the 90s, we have 286,000 people coming, household formation that is being formed, and we still have enough for them. Okay, 200, we still have like 245,000. Okay, we only short by maybe around like 40%. And if you look at what happened during 2011 to 2016, okay, that's when we are coming off a little bit of this more than the household formation. Okay, but because of the fact that we are seeing like printing off more money, like government's printing off more money, we are seeing that our asset increase. Okay, but in the last 5 years, the situation have gone very bad. How bad it was? Okay, we have less than 350,000 um, household. Housing completion, but we have more than 410,000 uh, uh, household being formed. Okay, therefore we are still short at around like 65,000 unit. Okay, so what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? Okay, I think that is one of the major questions that we all have right now. Okay, so population growth. Okay, how bad it is. Okay, so if we are saying that our population growth is the main reason why the housing market increased, okay, then we have to see what happened in the next 5 years. In the next 5 years, we anticipate more population growth than before. Okay, right now we're seeing approximately around like 900,000 population growth. Okay, in a 5 years time in Ontario, that is average of around like 150,000 people coming in. Okay, but in the year 2021 to year 2026, we will see almost 1.3 million people coming in, and most of them, the majority of them, are coming off from immigration. Okay, and then the rest will be coming off from net non-permanent residents. So when we are talking about net non-permanent residents, who are they? Okay, we all have we all don't know. Okay, who are they? Like, what are the majority group? Okay, and the majority group of them are international student. So when we are seeing international student, okay, they're either coming from India, China, Middle East, and especially in the recent times, we have seen a lot of people coming from Hong Kong to have their education being done, because if they finish their education and if they can apply for if they're a job, they can apply for permanent residence. Okay, and that's what happened to a lot of the international student. The major reason that they are coming into Ontario, first of all, because we have 7 universities around Southern Ontario. Okay, and then we have a special program for everyone needs. Okay, second is that they would like to immigrate to Toronto or Ontario. Okay, so this is one of the major reasons why we are seeing a lot of people coming in. So let's move on to the next slide. So how will each markets being affected? Okay, this is the number one thing that we're talking about. Condominium. Okay, I think it's time to answer Philip Tam questions in regards of condominium. Okay, he was saying that he saw a new 3-bedroom condo with 3 washroom at Warden Highway 7, 1,200 square feet pre-construction, selling over 900,000, and that is considered to be more reasonable. Yes, you're right, because if you are looking for a freehold townhouse in Warden and Highway 7, it easily costs up to over 1.7 billion. Okay, so when we are talking about approximately around the same space, okay, maybe a little bit more, and you're doubling the price for not living in a condo, okay, people will think, will it be making more sense living in a condo than living in a townhome? Okay, well, obviously a lot of people may say that, condo, I have to pay maintenance fee, I have to pay a lot of different types of fees. I don't like condos because it has to go on to elevator. But people will change from time to time. Okay, people will change because if they cannot afford a traditional townhome anymore, so then they will be looking for stat townhome as an alternative, and then they're looking for bigger condo. Okay, so that's why our prediction, larger condo will, I would say 2 bedroom as a minimum, and a minimal square footage will be 750 square foot and up. Okay, for downtown will be 750 square foot and up. For Markham or outskirt will be around like 800 square foot and up. And well, to be exact, is that the condo that allow you to buy parking. Okay, the condo units that allow you to buy parking will be the larger condo. So because in terms of being a healthy stage, 250 square foot per person is actually for 250 to 300 square foot per person is very healthy. So 800 square foot condo I would consider as a larger condo. Okay, obviously we're not talking about those 300 square feet those 300 square feet condo out there. Okay, but oh, he made his
Actually,
point.
I think this is a misunderstanding. Now, a lot of people didn't count into a lot of things that when you own a home, a low density home or a townhouse or a detached home, that there are a lot of money that you need to spend. This money, you might have spent it out for 10 years. Say, for example, a roof. You have to replace the roof, say, 12, 15 years. And those 12, 15 years, after you use it, you replace it, you have to come up with the money. And if you divide it by 10, by 12, say, it probably costs you $600-700 a year. And then if you divide by 12 months, actually there's automatically at $50 there. Now, a lot of us, now I don't know, but maybe there are a lot of you are younger. You are shoveling your own snows, right? Now, do you know that a lot of older people, they have to pay someone to shovel the snow? Now, how much does it cost? Say another $50. If you add up all these different numbers together, actually the number that you spend on, we will say that your daily expense of monthly expense, they are very close to a detached home. The only difference is that you pay up
And
front
another thing that,
rate.
yeah, Paul, another thing that worth to add in is that for condominium, they usually pay less property tax because they don't have to pay the garbage removal fees.
Yes, there are many things. If you add up together, you can see that the number is very close. Particularly in the last 2 years, detached home or low density homes insurance has jumped significantly.
True.
And if you make a comparison, you lay down every single items that you pay, what are included, not included. But one of our problems is that we always don't count our labor. Say if you go to shovel your snow, you cut your own grass, you don't count this as a cost, right? Whereas in the condominium, someone already did all those things for you, right? You don't count that. But if you count everything together, it's very close. It's actually, unless you are staying in a very, very old condominium at which some kind of major maintenance is due, then you will be paying a significantly high maintenance fee. Other than that, actually the number should be very close.
Yep. Okay. So so this is why we're thinking that larger condo will gain more popularity due to the other housing type become unaffordable. Think about it, like a freehold townhome, as I mentioned so many times, it's just going crazy and insane. Okay, you probably need like at least 1.5 in order to get you something in a freehold townhome in Markham, Richmond Hill area, and we are talking about something that is 10 years old. So when we're talking about condo, okay, how bad it was. Okay. So when we're talking about 2021 downtown, especially, we're seeing a price of 538,000 for a one bedroom unit in downtown. But then when we're back to pre-COVID, it was 545. So in reality, is that downtown condo didn't really increase compared to before. Okay, it just stayed the same level as before. But when we are seeing um, Stat Town, for example, okay, they have already increased a lot. Okay, so we're seeing Stat Town that is already 530,000 back in 2020 February, and then now we're seeing that they are selling it for 770,000. Okay, and don't be surprised on the following figures. Okay, and the following figures, I just afraid that it's going to be very astonishing to you guys. Okay, because we're seeing freehold. Okay, townhouse and freehold will be cooling off, followed by government intervention, just like what happened in the year 2017. That is one of the predictions that I make because of the fact that I do believe the freehold detached and freehold townhouse have increased way too much. Okay, and just and to be honest with you guys, the cost of building a freehold townhouse and freehold detached is way less than building a concrete building. Okay, for example, it's way less than building something that have underground parking. Stat townhouse have underground parking, condo have underground parking. Okay, but how bad it was when we are talking about the increase, we will show it on the next slide. Okay, so this is one of the popular detached in Markham. Okay, it's a double garage detached with 44 feet front lot. Okay, and back in 2019 December, it was sold for 1.25, just a little bit under 1.25 million. Okay, then we are seeing 2021 December. Okay, a similar house in the same area was sold for almost 2.29 million. Okay, so we're talking about a 1.25 million more. We're talking about almost at 100%, almost double the price within 2 years. Do you think a healthy market will allow something to double up in 2 years? Okay, I highly have doubt about it. So who are the buyers? Okay, we are all surprised on that. Who are the buyers? Obviously, first-time home buyer. I think account for a lot of them. Okay, for most of them, I believe it's around like at least 50% of them. Okay, then here comes the immigrant. Okay, and perhaps we all need to know that our immigrant nowadays are all ranging from the age of 25 to 35 or even younger at sometimes. And then obviously our prediction is that we will see a little bit of a slight decline of investor purchase due to uncertainty and chaos. But it doesn't mean that there won't be any investor purchasing it anymore. Okay, because as I mentioned in the previous slide, a lot of the investor have to purchase it for their for the next generation. Okay, so this is one of the reasons. Okay, so in terms of finance and investing, although we're a real estate channel, I just want to touch a little bit on that because it's all money oriented. Okay, for real estate. We will see that the inflation will never end. Okay, where we will see that people will look for alternative to fight off inflation. We will see that gold, cryptocurrency, and real estate market will remain as a hot commodity. So what are there? So other than buying like pre-construction or buying properties, what are the investment tools there is? Paul, do you want to elaborate on the fact that becoming a limited partner for land development?
Okay. Actually, land development is not a new concept or anything new. In the past, when the real estate property value, I mean, say, for example, a detached home, a condominium, the price is relatively low. developing land, although you can make some good money, but since the relative price of the and the cost of building or buying properties are relatively profitable, people don't want to spend the time in doing land development. Okay, they don't go and seek for a land and build their own house, because all they need to do is to pay a little money to the builder. They develop the land, you just buy the building, complete it. And then after a few years, they complete it, you appreciate. The property value appreciate. You mix quite good, decent returns of your investment. Now, since the property value is going so high now, we know that there will still be increase in terms of the overall price, but the growth rate will not be as rapid as for the last several years or of the last decade. So people are looking into more different ways of investing to see their investment. I remember back to 2016, at that time when we predict that condo is going to take off, we asked all the clients of like, hold on to detached home, let's go or move into buying condominium pre-constructions. For those people, if you put in 100,000 at that time, probably you make 3 times the money. Okay, if you put in a down payment for a 2-bedroom in North York, which will be closing either late last year or coming this year, 100,000 you buy 2 bedrooms, and probably those things will be selling around 500K. Now, probably there will be over 850,000, and your 100,000 investment will make you 350,000 easily. Of course, we haven't talked about the tax return, right? In those times, nobody will take the time to look at different alternatives. Whatever you buy, you go and buy, you pick up a condo, you make money. Up till 2 years ago, you still can say similar thing. But now, because of the inflation, because of a lot of things, look at the condo price. Now, if you go to the latest one, there's one just announced 2 days ago, 252 Church. Now, the range is kind of scary. If you are buying the small unit, 298 square foot condo, which is the bachelor unit, the sales price is around $1,840 per square foot. And if you are buying a bigger unit, okay, say 770 square foot, and it dropped down to 1,300. So you can see that now price has significantly go up, and if you don't think and if you don't choose right, your profit might not be as desirable. So now people are start looking into land now, back to the same old way. Many years ago, a lot of people buy a piece of land and they hire someone to build. Now, and the trend is coming back. And even yesterday, we have a few of our listeners.
So Paul, we have questions here from Mio.
Yep.
Is that what is the capital requirement to invest in land development?
Actually, that doesn't have to be a lot. Now, land development, let me just give you one example. Now, I'm not talking about right in downtown Toronto. A piece of land, 50-acre land in Beaverton, probably you can get it somewhere in $500,000 to $600K. Now, those are raw land. They are almost like a forest. They are facing a municipal street that you can move in, move out. But think about that. The usage of such a land, if you can develop it, development means that you plan for it, you go to the government, you make application, change the purpose of it, right? Now, there are lots of money there. However, even if we are looking at dealing with land in Toronto, a lot of different ways that you can participate. it's more or less the same amount of money. Say, for 20% down on the condo now costs you at least 100,000, or I don't see anything below that, right? $100,000 you can participate in a limited partnership on land development, or even if you say, if you have a few friends similar age, they have the similar needs, you can buy a piece of land, try to build 4 or 5 townhome there. Okay, with this kind of approach, you actually save a lot of money, make the cost per unit is a lot lower. Now, the initial investment is very close to putting the 20% down to a brand new pre-construction project. However, now land development may take a long time, usually take at least 2 years, but it may take a long time, and it's not for everyone. So for people who doesn't have experience doing it themselves, they may want to join some kind of project. They invest on as a limited partner into one of the bigger projects, and then those returns, if you find the right project, return could be pretty good, even better than the old days of a condominium. Because if you can put, say, for example, Beaverton, you buy the piece of land for 600K. Imagine that only 1/10 of them can be used to build houses. Your land will be worth 10 times. So, yes. Sure. Okay, now
okay.
to answer that questions, first of all, if you want to learn more about that, give us a call, connect with us, talk to me or Ringo, or one of our staff. That if you know some of our sales team, talk to us. Yes, you're right. It's not easily that it was on realtor.ca kind of thing, but there are plenty opportunities there that you can participate in.
Paul, I can answer this question. So basically, land opportunity don't come and go, okay? Because I think within Southern Ontario, at the end of the day, I will highly recommend like anything within Southern Ontario. Okay. But however, it really depends on the value, right? So if you have like a limited budget and you want to buy in downtown Toronto, then it's going to be a little bit of a problem. So when it comes to land development, what we're looking at is that the population growth of that particular region. Okay, so right now, what we are seeing is that we are seeing a lot of infrastructure over in Markham, Richmond Hill, or Vaughan. But however, for land in Markham is already being overinflated because there's a lot of overseas capital flowing around in Markham. So ultimately, it's really hard for me to tell like what exact location you should buy. Okay, for example, Paul talked about Beaverton in the earlier conversation, and I think that one is sort of attractive because it's at the end of Highway 404. Okay, so because real estate market change from time to time. Okay, so it's very hard for me to give you an exact answer, but I will. But the only answer that I can give it to you right now is that if you have a limited budget, try to stay away from downtown because I don't think you can get anything from downtown. Because downtown land, we're talking about at least like 40-50 millions. Okay, if you don't want to buy something that's overinflated, try to stay away from Markham as well in terms of land. Okay, not property, because land in Markham has been purchased by a lot of overseas capital. Okay, hopefully I can answer your questions. Yep.
So there was one question previously about investing. Should investors move to commercial properties?
This is a good question. Commercial properties actually is very hot right now, particularly kind of a condo warehouse. Now we all know that on all industry there are short supplies of inventory. Right now, warehouse is one particularly hot items that, but by the time everything settled down, um, then we have to look into where are you investing. Now, condo warehouse right now is really hot. If you have a piece of land, if you can convert it in time, you will make a very, very good return. Commercial wise, it's always been increasing for the last 5 years and backward. And commercial is not a bad alternative. However, investing in commercial and residential is a little bit different. Details we can talk in a separate meeting, or if you are interested in looking into that, we send us a message. We will get back to you on that.
Okay, so here comes the our conclusion of what is going to happen in the year 2022. Okay, so first we're going to see that a moderate market with less volume compared to before. Okay, we will see condo will increase relatively faster than low rise, and then third point is that we will see downtown condo and stack town will become a very hot products. Okay, they are the product that everybody is craving for. Because I know that right now everybody is craving for freehold townhouse, freehold townhouse, freehold townhouse. Okay, or the townhouse with no maintenance fee. But trust me, those are the one that will become a very hot product. Okay, and then the fourth one is that um, we are most likely going to see that the interest rate is going to cause the sentiment to change, but it will not be drastically. Okay, we won't see like interest rate hike will have like 10-15% drop. I don't see that on the price. Okay, so here comes the advice for first time home buyer is that if you are first time home buyer and if you want to buy, try to buy first instead of waiting for your dream home. Okay, the reason being is that if you are looking for your dream home, it probably costs you a lot more than what it can get you. Okay, and especially with the ongoing market right now. So, but if you're a first time home buyer and if you don't have a lot of cash on hand, what you may want to do is to buy first to lock down the price. Okay, because as time flies, your dream home price will rise, but however the home that you got will rise as well. So as soon as your income increase and as your as your home price rise, okay, as your first time home price rise, you will get more down payment. Okay, and then therefore you may be able to get your dream home afterward. Okay, and also one of the key factors that I want to be emphasized here is that for the first time home buyer, if you're just graduate, okay, you can be a little bit more optimistic on how much you can afford because technically your income's supposed to rise, okay, and by the time that your income rise, you can basically have more purchasing power. Okay, so I do help a client who purchased her first home back in 2015. And when she purchased it, it was a 2-bedroom condo. It wasn't a dream home. Okay, for 400,000. And then last year he bought off a 2 million houses from me. Okay, because he was making that a $500,000 profit on his first purchase, and then her income rise and her husband income rise as well. So this is a real life situation that you guys can look at. Okay, so Paul, I will leave it to you for to talk about the advice for investor and also the advice for upsizing?
Okay. First of all, before I go specifically for any type of investor, number one thing is this. This is the three things that you can take home right now and will be very helpful for the next year. First of all, doesn't matter what you want to do, whether you want to sell, you want to buy, or you don't want to do anything. Okay, be prepared for next year. What I mean by be prepared is that, say, take a look at your mortgage now. Take a look at different things that it might affect what you will be doing. Okay, get ready, be prepared. Okay. Second thing is that, think about this now. Price is going up. You can also try to minimize your risk, okay, or try to improve your portfolio by joining partnership. Say, boyfriend, girlfriends can join. If you have some friends that are in a similar situation, you might have half of the deposit, they might have the half of the deposit. If you can find the right partner, think about partnership. That will get you on board sooner than you can do all by yourself. That's the second point. Okay. The third thing is that now, in the past, I remember 2016, if you just go and buy a detached home, doesn't matter. The next year, it will grow at least 15, 20%. It's no longer that. Okay. And then after 2016, 2017, April, whatever you buy in terms of the condominium, you make a lot of money. Now, it's no longer the case. Now, are they good investment? Absolutely. You have to choose what to buy. Be careful. Understand what you're buying. Look at the trend of what that particular type of investment will grow for you. So those are the three things, is the basic. Okay. Be prepared when opportunity come. There will be some opportunities coming in because of many reasons. People just want to sell it because there's all of a sudden there's a news in the market. There will be a short windows that you can take opportunity and do well. So be prepared. Second thing is that, again, partnership. Okay. You can partner with your parents. Most likely they are far better off than you are. They've been working for a long time. They might have some cash. They may have. You can do partnership with friends. Okay. Of course, all this thing has to be done properly in terms of all the dots and T's, so that everyone is happy regarding that. The last thing, like I said, okay, choose carefully. There are many options in terms of investment. Okay. There are a lot of good real estate agents, good advisor out there. Okay. Of course, we would like you to talk to us, but there are many good investment opportunity. There are many good advice out there. Talk to people, find the alternatives. Okay. And now, again, we know that sometimes if you prefer, like Ringo said, if you always want to go for your dream home, okay, be prepared to pay a far high premium on that. It might not worth it. Okay. So, and then something too good, like I said, something is already, if in certain way, some of the projects, even like the examples I cited earlier, you can buy a pop, it's the same building. You can pay $18.40 per square foot versus $13.30 per square foot on the same building. Think about that. That is already a choice, right? And if you are just thinking about, I'm only comfortable with pre-construction, just think about that. A unit, a $800,000 unit, you pay $160,000, 20%. Okay, a $600,000 unit, you pay $12,000, 120,000 unit. You are only talking about $40,000 difference. Your choice may be, okay, you look at the difference, then you evaluate the different things. So be careful when you do that. Okay. And also we know that interest rate is going up. We know that certain things is the price will go up too, but you have to be conservative. Don't overstress yourself. Okay, make yourself comfortable. Like I said, if there's a better deal on a higher price tag, find another partner, do it. So both of you will be comfortable doing that and make good returns. Okay. So finally, the most important thing is that we all always like to stay with our comfort zone. We have done that. Okay, I make good money, but think about the alternatives. What else can you do, right? Of course, some people might even suggest that you just go to the stock market, you do that. Yes, those things might be good at certain time. So look at all the alternatives. We as real estate agent, we always think that bricks and motor are the most valuable thing. Worst case scenario, you can still sell them, right? So look at the alternative, be patient, but get yourself ready for the opportunity. That's the basic advice that we can get you. I am sure if you take the 3 points, think about that, how you want to do your investment. We believe that we should keep on investing because money, if you keep there, just leave it there. If you want to sell your property, you keep the money there. That's the worst things that you can do. You need to move on with the money. You need to increase whatever value you have. So that's the basic idea for the next year. So
okay. Okay. We have another questions. Okay. It was from Sick Mama. Okay. I'm back. Quick question before I leave. Forgot to ask. Do you think resale unit is better than pre-con? I think that is a very good question. Pre-con require you to have low down payment. Okay, you don't have to get mortgage right away, and it'll allow you to have more time to save up the money that you're supposed to save. Okay. However, for pre-con, you're paying a little bit of a premium here, possibly going to be 10 to 15%. But you can eat out like the the housing appreciation in 1 or 2 years already justified that. Okay. However, consider the fact that you have, when you're buying resale, resale is a little bit different. Resale, you have to get mortgage right away. You have to come up with a down payment right away. But you have to deal with tenant. Okay, deal with tenant is not going to be a problem if you hire the right person. Okay, obviously, I'm not trying to promote here, but I have to. We have a property management company that deal with that for you. Okay, so if you can come up with the down payment and get a mortgage right away, I will strongly recommend you to consider about assignment unit. Okay, because for assignment unit, basically, you're buying something that is under the market value. Okay, for example, I just helped my client purchase a 1+1 unit in Richmond Hill for only like 560,000. Okay, whereas if I have to purchase it for them on a resale, it might be like 650,000. So you might still able to get some deal on assignment. Okay, but for resale, because of the fact that is on the MRS, okay, then you have approximately 80,000 agents looking at it. It's a little bit tough. Okay, so so that's my opinion.
Actually, I want to add a little bit on what Ringo said in terms of his answer. Now, it all comes down to when you're talking about on the same similar location, say right next door, you have a pre-construction and you have a resale and you have an assignment. Actually, the real decision is boiled down to what's the difference in terms of the price. On a, say, if this pre-construction, they are still selling at a very high price, and whereas the resale is very low price, and in between, okay, there's another building which is assignment you can buy, is also brand new, will be moving in next year. Now, what you are looking at actually should be the gap, how big the gap is. Okay. Now, when people are buying the new pre-construction, they're expecting in a few years, this will be the price. Now, if bigger the gap, the growth of whatever the resale unit or the assignment unit will be more valuable. Because when the other building is finished, that's the target that you can see, you can reach, because people are already paying for that. So you look at, it's not just strictly saying it's a particular unit. It's more or less like the value. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So that is when it comes for people who is planning to upsize, I think it's very important that you guys can hold on until later on this year. Okay. And because right now, if you're looking to upsize, there's not much inventory on the market. Okay. And another wise advice that I would like to give to audience is that try to buy and sell at the same time. Don't try to buy first and sell, because we never know when the government is going to intervene. Okay. So anyway, that's it for our today's live. Okay. I really appreciate you guys joining in, and a lot of them comment and ask questions. I'm more than happy to help you. If I didn't answer your questions, please forgive me. There are two more.
Yeah, 2 more questions.
Oh, okay. Why don't so do you mind ask them, and then Paul and I will try to answer.
So the first one I think we didn't get to yet is, what is life leasing?
Was what?
Okay, life leasing. Okay, most likely. Okay, life leasing is that you don't buy the properties. You buy the right to lease and use that particular properties. Now, one popular thing is that most of the charity organizations, when they build a building, when they sell that unit out to you, they don't really sell the properties. You don't own the properties. You will sign a life lease with them. This lease, as long as you have the lease still valid, you have the right to use that unit. And in most of the cases, they have certain kind of age restrictions. Say, for example, the Mount Sun Foundation's buildings, they will need at least one of the tenants to be 50 or 55 years old. Then you can bring in your kids or other people in. And they also allow you to rent it out. So you more or less like at the end, okay, say if someone passed away, if you don't want to hold on to the list anymore, you can still sell the list. The list itself is sellable. And in some case, it's restricted that you have to go through that organization to sell it. And in some other cases, the organization may charge you a fixed percentage of the sales price in order for you to transfer your life lease to another person. Say, for example, if I bought one unit, 500K for a 1+1 bedroom in this building, my right is to use it. I still have to pay something like the maintenance, things like that. But almost like I own this unit, but I don't really own it. I own the right of using this unit for moving in or for lease. Now, you pay the same maintenance as a regular condo. When you are ready to sell it, okay, you follow the rules. Sometimes the building may charge, I want 5%, whatever sales price you do. You can find your agent, you can sell it. So there's market value for this kind of thing. Now, because of the restriction, expect it's a little bit similar thing. Say if it's for 800 square foot, 2-bedroom apartments, condo, two bathroom, you expect the market value will be lower than a traditional condo. But at the same time, when you buy it, it's lower. When you sell it, it's lower. But the same thing will still subject to appreciation. Okay, so if the market grow up, the value of your life list is still go up. So the difference is that you own the right to use it. You didn't own the physical properties. That's life list.
Okay.
Okay.
And
So
then
what are the second question?
second
What is the
question
second?
is from Raj. As a first-time home buyer, if I have a good salary, let's say 100K in tech, how big of a mortgage can I expect to receive from the bank? And any specific banks you would recommend?
So okay, first is that there is no specific bank that I would recommend. Okay, because all different bank have different types of program. Okay, I believe CIBC and RBC they offer a very competitive rate. Okay, that you have to shop around yourself. So this is how I teach my client when it comes to mortgage questions. Okay, you cannot just find one mortgage broker, and because for example, if you find someone from TD, they can only apply the things that you have to one financial institution. Okay, so you have to shop around on the mortgage broker. Okay, and see that which financial institution are more loose on giving out the money. Okay, so to answer your questions, if you earn approximately like $100,000, how much will you be qualified? If you don't have any debt, if you don't have any um, uh, like OSAP loan, car loan, or anything, okay, and your credit is good, you may potentially be able to buy uh, uh, have approximately like $600,000 mortgage. Okay, but it all depends on whether or not you are using it as an investment or not. Because for some bank, they will allow you to use the rental income as part of your income as well. So ultimately, I think the best solution will be asking me for referral of mortgage broker because I have few for you. Okay.
Actually, I want to give my 3 cents on this one. First of all, there's a myth that when you get a mortgage, you want to go to a big bank. Now, in certain way, yes, big banks is more favorable. However, they are different financial institute. Remember that they are the one who lend you the money. Doesn't matter how big they are, how small they are. All you are looking is what is the term which is most favorable to you. Okay, that's number one thing. Okay. Second thing is this. Now, when you do mortgage, particularly for those who has a good income, actually 100K income is a very, very decent. Okay. Now, of course, in the Canadian price, the housing market is odd, but you have a very decent income. If you understand what you're doing, if you know what's your future, the next 2 years, 3 years, think about this another way, long term, short term. You may be paying different things like a high ratio. You pay a premium, say 1% insurance. You get a high ratio, then you might buy a better properties if you think you can afford that. That's another way of thinking. Now, you may be paying some premium interest in the first year doing certain thing, but that should be a consideration. Because if you buy the right property today, if this is a really good property that you want, and think about that. If you can afford it by just paying a premium on a special interest rate or something like that, it might worth it after 2 years. Because if you buy and sell, you lose a lot of things too, right? So those are the consideration. But a good advisor, mortgage advisor, should help you to do this kind of thing. Okay, so hopefully
do you guys
give you a good answer on that, and then again, give us a call.
Yeah, so
And
give
then
us a call, and
offline.
also remember to subscribe our channel. Okay, as COVID lockdown, we will tend to have more um YouTube live for you guys. So as soon as we open again, I hope to meet you guys in person. Okay, so feel free to subscribe my channel, and I will keep you updated on what was coming soon. Okay.